You're watching Reality Check. In the early hours of this morning, Mamta Banerjee delivered what has so far been her most severe blow to the Congress, a party that otherwise considers its ally against the BJP. In a late-night coup, 12 of the Congress's 17 MLAs in the tiny hill state of Meghalaya broke away and joined the TMC, led by former Meghalaya Chief Minister Mukul Sangma, the largest such exodus from the Congress to the TMC. With this, the Trinamool is now the main opposition party in Meghalaya. Similar to the admission made by another TMC recruit, former Goa Chief Minister and Congress leader Luisin Falero, here too Mukul Sangma said the approach on behalf of the Trinamool was made by political strategist Prashant Kishore.
I must also be very frank. In search of this, I also end up meeting my friend Prashant Kishoreji, one of the strategists, whom we all know, who can make a difference and who can be a friend as well. I'm very happy to disclose that when we interacted, I felt that we share the same objective aim, where the interests of the people, interests of the state and interests of the nation superseded everything else.
Now this latest coup comes amid a rapid and aggressive Prashant Kishore or PK-led expansion by the Trinamool Congress, mainly at the expense of the Congress. Look at the Trinamool's growing footprint now across India. States where it has a presence, West Bengal obviously, but beyond that, Assam where it's recruited Sushmita Dev of the Congress, Tripura where Prakash Das and 6 Congress leaders have crossed over, Meghalaya of course today, Mukul Sangma and the Congress MLAs, Goa where the Congress's Luisin Falero has come on board, Uttar Pradesh where members of the Triparthi political family of the Congress have joined, Bihar where Pawan Verma of the erstwhile JDU has joined and Kirti Azad of the Congress, and Haryana where Congress leader Ashok Tanwar has joined the Trinamool. In fact, today there were local elections in BJP-ruled Tripura, where once the contest was between the left and the Congress. Now with the BJP having dislodged the left, it's the TMC which appears to be replacing the Congress as the main opposition force, accusing the BJP of using violence and intimidation to rig the elections. All of this now raises questions about Mamta Banerjee's parallel attempts to promote and participate in anti-BJP political unity. She was asked this just a day ago when she was in Delhi recruiting a spate of leaders, including from the Congress. Why, journalists asked her, is she not planning to meet Sonia Gandhi? This is what she said.
और किसी से वक्त नहीं माने कि मेरे को पता है पंजाब इलेक्शन है, they are busy, let them work for the party. कि हर टाइम मुलाकात होने का कोई बात है क्या? ये कोई मैंडेटरी है? ये कोई कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन है? मैंने बोला, मैंने टाइम नहीं मांगा, वो लोग बिजी है पंजाब इलेक्शन के लिए, let them be busy for their party work.
So we now know the answer to that, why there was no meeting with Sonia Gandhi, because around the same time that Mamta Banerjee was in the national capital, her coup against the Congress was unfolding in Meghalaya. Now, Mukul Sangma, of course, is the key player in all of this, who's just crossed over from the Congress to the TMC, the former Chief Minister of Meghalaya. I spoke to him earlier and I began by asking him, Mr. Sangma, that why did you leave the Congress party, number one, and why did you join the Trinamool, which has no presence in Meghalaya?
As I have said, when we were exploring these whole possibilities, we did lots of research, we did lots of studies, we did talk to many of our senior leaders who are otherwise active or otherwise dormant as well. As you know, many of our senior leaders who are not in circulation but are a source of wealth of knowledge and experience based on their long innings in public life. And therefore, all this exercise culminated into, forcing us to search for an alternative in absence of the whole intent or the desire missing from our Grand All Party. And that exercise ultimately made us do scanning of all other options available, starting from my state of Meghalaya. All the political parties that operate here, none of them are the party which can align with our ideology and principle. And we therefore looked at other parties in the Northeast, then
Okay.
on a pan-India basis. Then we zeroed down because of the reasons that is available before us, because the Trinamool Congress, in as far as what we have seen in the present political scenario, is that, okay, they are aligned to our commitment to protect and defend our people who feel insecure in this country, who feel deprived in this country. And therefore, if we can funnel our strength and aggregate it together and look at how on a pan-India basis we can all come together,
Right.
I think we are going to be able to do justice.
Right, but you said, we heard you say that it was the Prashant Kishore who approached you. What exactly did he say to you?
You see, you all know that as an election strategist, our Indian National Congress leadership was engaging with him. So we also looked at, okay, whether this engagement was actually going to result into something concrete, which will give an indication that naturally we will take course correction and will be seen as really determined to do justice to our role and responsibility as a political party and fulfill our purpose. But then in course of this discussion, ultimately I think he also thought, no, I need better to give up because there's nothing going to happen. And therefore again, continuous discussion, continuous engagement. We also did little research at our own end, did little data analysis and looked at, okay, is it possible then to align with anybody? Then he also suggested, Dr. Sangma, I think you need to look at this particular space which is available. And therefore we discuss amongst our own colleagues, our own CLP, and ultimately friends who have agreed to come together have taken a conscious decision.
Okay, so when did these conversations start? When did Prashant Kishore and you first start this conversation?
Yeah, quite a multiple times, number of times. As I have said, it's a long-drawn exercise, yeah. It was not something which has happened in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks or a month. It was a long-drawn exercise. Yeah.
Okay, but some would say, Mr. Sangma, that it's all very well to say that, the Congress kept losing and that's why you left, but some would say that that's part of politics. You win sometimes, you lose sometimes, but leaving the party which you've served for so long and which has also served you is a form of betrayal.
I will rather put it on my own way. One cannot do injustice to the people of the country. One cannot do injustice to the kind of role that as a political party has to fulfill. Therefore, one cannot just occupy a space and be idle without doing anything. You need to look at what is happening in the country. You need to look at as to whether, the whole scenario across the nation, the whole socio-political spectrum, give you that kind of comfort that, okay, you will see people going and coming in chalta hai attitude. We have to get out of this chalta hai attitude if we want to do justice to the role that is vested upon us, because aspirations and expectations of the people are linked and connected with what we do.
Did you not bring up all of this, as you put it quite strongly, this chalta hai attitude, did you not bring this up with the senior leadership of the Congress, including the Gandhis?
Unfortunately, there are many other senior leaders as well. I think everybody have seen the same ending. So it is not that Dr. Mukul Sangma has not tried. Dr. Mukul Sangma has made an attempt after attempt after attempt to have audience. And if states are, slowly weakened in every state, what happens to the party? If it is weakened in Meghalaya, if it is weakened in Assam, if it is weakened in every state, how are you going to rise as a political party? Every political party has to be strong at the grassroots in every state. Then only you can think that, okay, you are able to really do justice to the aspirations and expectations which are connected to the political party to which they align to.
Last question to you. The allegation seems to be that this is really not so much about wider principles or the Congress coming apart, but the fact that you are upset because someone else was made state Congress president. That's why you staged this rebellion or this defection.
See, it is not just one issue in isolation. It's an aggregation of many things which were required to be corrected. As I have said, it's a long-drawn exercise. If we go back to 2018 election, we were supposed to be in the helm of affairs of governance after the election. We were supposed to get the mandate to form government. But why did we fail? There were many reasons. And the reasons are because of complete lack of concern in respect of an electoral battle. We go to electoral battle not to win. It's chalta hai attitude with which we go. That's why we lost that 2018. If you go by every data that was available prior to the vote and the counting, Congress was crossing halfway mark. But what happened? There are reasons. There are many things which are decided by AICC. Have you, can you by any chance, justify when a president is replaced just a week before the election is notified for a general election? So it is not just this part where you see that, okay, something that was decided upon is seen as something wrong, but then it is a culmination and aggregation of all those things which have slowly created this whole ultimate situation.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much indeed.
It's a pleasure. It's a
Mr.
pleasure.
Sangma. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. All right. Let's open it up to panel. We have with us Sushmita Dev, Rajya Sabha MP of the Trinamool Congress, also, by the way, someone who crossed over from the Congress. Patricia Mukim, editor of the Shillong Times, one of the finest voices of the media from the Northeast. But let me first start with Vincent Pala, who's the president of the Meghalaya Pradesh Congress Committee. And in fact, believe, Mr. Pala, that that was one of the provocations for this exodus. But what do you make of this massive coup that has happened to the Congress? Did you have any idea about the fact that this was going to happen, or were you caught completely off guard?
No, definitely I knew this. It's not because of me being appointed as the president. I appreciate what Dr. Mukul has rightly said, that this has been an exercise done by him and his team long back.
So, but you knew. But you're saying you knew about this. You knew there was going to be your whole party, almost the entire party, was going to walk out.
Yes. Definitely, we all knew about it. That's why we have taken lots of precautions, especially in Meghalaya. Now we have done lots of aggressive enrollment. We have done lots of including new party to party. But
one second, sir. Sorry, this is a very surprising thing. You're saying you knew about it. Why were you not able to stop it?
Yes, actually, even High Command also, Dr. Mukul Sangma, we met Rahul ji, we met Venugopal ji. On 18th of this month also, we met the party leaders.
Yes.
But I think they have decided it. I think they have decided because we are in the opposition in the state. I think that's one of the main reasons. But definitely we knew it and we tried to stop it. But I think the problem is that being in the opposition, maybe most of the Congress have been in the power for so long, and suddenly if they are out of power, then it's difficult for them
so it's not like by doing this they've come back to power. They're still in the opposition. The question though is, Mr. Vincent, that he is saying it's a very strong language. He's saying because the Congress is not doing anything to properly fight the elections. He's saying it's a chalta hai attitude. Congress has a chalta hai attitude.
In the last election, Dr. Mukul was the leader. Dr. Mukul was the chief minister. So he was leading all of us. I was appointed before the election as the working president. So jointly and with joint efforts, we all worked very hard. And in the last election, also in 2018, 9 of the MLAs left us and many of the senior leaders refused to contest.
Right.
So I think there's nothing to blame the party, either me or the High Command. Because he was a leader at that time, he was a chief.
Okay, Sushmita
Dev. At
that
time, he was the chief minister.
All right, but Sushmita Dev, I mean, come on, this is getting now extremely confusing. All right, your leader is supposed to be one of the linchpins of an anti-BJP united opposition, which includes the Congress, and here you are constantly poaching from taking vast amounts of leaders and MLAs from the Congress.
See, Srinivas, let me tell you something. She has done her research. Prashant Kishore has done his research. And we are very crystal clear that Congress is a dying force in these states. And people of that state want an alternative. And the Congress is at one level letting the people down. I mean, NPP is in power there. It's a corrupt government. is divisive politics.
Right.
Meghalaya, the kind of violence and the kind of shootouts that have happened in Shillong has never happened in last so many decades.
Okay.
Who's responsible? The NPP government. The Congress is just not coming across a viable opposition. And
Okay,
there
so
are leaders who believe that for a better fight with the BJP, Mamta is a better option.
Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, it's one thing to say that the Congress may not be putting up the best possible fight, but one would have thought anti-BJP unity or opposition unity means not that you poach virtually the entire Congress, but you come in there, you both of you join hands, and then you take on the BJP.
See, let me put it in perspective for you, Srinivas. If I come from Assam, Vincent comes from Meghalaya, even if the Congress sort of survives there and is floating around there, I'm telling you, Congress is not coming to power in Meghalaya or Assam for the next 10 to 15 years. So you want Mamta to join what? You see, politics is about perception.
I don't.
So I mean, you're asking me to.
I don't want. I'm only holding Mamta ji and the Trinamool to its own rhetoric, to its own claims.
Just let me put it
that
in
opposition
perspective
must
for you.
unite.
Let me please put it in perspective for you. For instance, in Gujarat, Mamta Banerjee is not going to Gujarat. Mamta Banerjee is not going to Maharashtra.
She may.
But Mamta Banerjee is going to states and bastions where she feels that Congress may not succeed for the next two decades.
All right, let me get it. Okay,
at least a decade.
I'll come back to you.
Poaching. She's trying to be a viable opposition.
Okay, no,
Please look at it that
no one
way.
who poaches ever says it's poaching. But I'm going to come to Patricia
what
Mukim.
is poaching?
Okay.
What is poaching according to you?
I was being
Mamta
somewhat
Banerjee
frivolous.
left the Congress in 1997 and to
Okay. All right. I was being somewhat frivolous. Patricia Mukim, before I come to you, Vincent Pala. All right. Sushmita Dev, just a second. Vincent Pala, quick response from you to her comments that the Congress is dying in Meghalaya.
I think, I don't know much about the Assam. As
Meghalaya.
far as, in the last election.
She's saying Congress is dying in Meghalaya.
I can bet for you Congress will be stronger this time. And especially those who left mainly are confined to the family politics.
Right.
And now young people are coming. At the same time, I can guarantee you, I've been visiting blocks to blocks for the last 1 month.
Okay.
The Congress, especially the voters now, is in favor of the Congress.
Okay,
and Susmita rightly said that this corrupt comment is here. But definitely the Congress is the only. And for your information, this is not the first time that the Trinamool has come to Meghalaya.
Okay. But
this is the second time.
Mr. Pala, on a day when you've lost virtually your entire party to say people are looking to the Congress. But anyway, Patricia Mukim, this is bewildering, is it not? I mean, both as an observer of the Northeast, but also of the wider national political theatre, that it's in Delhi, it's all about opposition unity, but everywhere else, whether it's Tripura, whether it's now Meghalaya, latest, earlier Assam, the Trinamool is aggressively expanding at the cost of its supposed ally, the Congress.
I'm not so sure that the Congress is now an ally of any other party, because I think Mamata had tried to get this opposition unity in place a few weeks ago when she went to Delhi, but it didn't pay off. So I think as an astute politician, she's looking beyond the Congress now. And Prashant Kishore had sent his researchers to Meghalaya for now about 2 months. They've been going around, talking to people, feeling the pulse of people, of the intelligentsia, of the ordinary citizens.
Yeah.
And maybe they find there's a vacuum here that can be filled. And that's what political parties do. I don't see that, I've come to a point of cynicism when I don't think any party has any ideology whatsoever. The ideology is just to be in power, that's all.
No, of course. But as I said, this question only comes up because of the fact that at the same time, you do see Mamta Banerjee still making overtures to try and bring parties together. Just in fact, today, when you say the Congress not reaching out, actually or is not willing to play ball, Sonia Gandhi had a meeting today about the coming parliament session where she said that, the idea was that all parties should strategize, including the Trinamool Congress. So that's my question to you, Sushmita Dev.
No, but
Yes.
Basu, can I come in here?
Yes,
See,
Patricia.
we are looking at a congenital disorder in the Congress. The Congress does not believe in inner party democracy. So it imposes these state presidents and does not allow the primary units and the blocks to elect that president. With all due respects to Mr. Vincent Pala,
Okay.
he was the choice of the AICC. And we all know that between Vincent Pala and Dr. Mukul Sangma, there is a huge gap of not being able to work together. This has happened in the past. It's a fact.
Okay. So you're saying that this top-down approach, but Sushmita Dev, where does this leave opposition unity? Is there opposition unity?
Srinivas, first there has to be a strong opposition and then they have to unite. So there are two sides to this coin. So the question is, you can't let look at the state of the Congress in Odisha. Look at the state of the Congress in Bihar. Look at the state of the Congress in most of the northeastern states. So where the Congress is strong and can fight in places like Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, is fine. They should go ahead. They should go ahead. There's no problem in it. There's no problem in that unity to that extent.
So you're saying there can't be unity. There can't be unity if one part, parties are weak. I mean, that's an interesting way of looking at unity. That because there'll always be some parties that are strong and others weak. That's why you come together.
Srinivas, unity is not synonymous to sympathy. So where you're fighting hard, great, we wish you well. I hope you succeed. No issues with it. But in states where you are gradually dying or dead, like I just give you examples of Odisha, I give you an example of Bihar, I gave you, I can just go on and on.
Okay.
You cannot grudge Mamata Banerjee to make a viable opposition there. And that's all it is about. So opposition unity doesn't mean you leave open spaces for the BJP to take over. Okay. You cannot.
Okay, interesting take on it. Do you want to respond quickly, Vincent Pala? We're almost out of time. What does this mean then for opposition unity? How can you have opposition unity like this?
Yeah, definitely. How can we have an opposition? How can we have a unity like this? I 100% agree with you. But at the same time, what Patricia has said is correct. The people who left the party, they don't look for the interests of the people, but they are for the interest only to be in power. That's a very simple, I think.
Argument.
I think they have
I don't know if that's quite what Patricia said, but I think a wider point was that it's top down. Congress is undemocratic.
I think Vincent
top down
has
politics.
a very bad day.
But
I just want to tell you, my appointment as a president is not initiated by the ICC.
Okay.
It was initiated by the people in the state. There was a demand from people in the state that the president should be appointed, and AIC has sent it people. So it was there was a discussion even in the party also. So I was appointed. Rather, I've been forced by my own people here that I should take over. There's nothing new.
Nothing new. But anyway, you have a tough chance. You have a tough task ahead of you, Vincent Pala. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you, sir. I take this as a challenge.
All right. It is, well, that's putting it mildly. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Thank you all for watching as well. Good night.